Folkloric is a bi-weekly podcast that will take a look at all the things in this world that make humans feel insignificant and scared.
Or uncomfortable and confused.
We will talk about the stories, the magic, and the cryptids.
And discuss their significance in culture and society.
Each episode will focus on one subject,
though tangents should be expected.
And we will learn about the history and the lore behind those subjects, and maybe have some silly fun along the way. So tune in every other Sunday. Find us wherever you listen to podcasts. Welcome, all you fabulous moolahs and Captain Lou Albanos. It's time for another episode of Once More with Feelings. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Beth, and we are an emotional journey podcast. We watch the movies, we talk about them, and how they relate to us and our world.
Yes. This week we did the 2019 movie, The Peanut Butter Falcon.
Believe it or not, I forgot to actually get the wiki for this. I seriously did. I was so in, because I was looking up all the other things. Time out.
Yes.
The Peanut Butter Falcon is a 2019 comedy drama film written and directed by Tyler Nilson and Michael Schwartz in their directorial film debut, starring Zach Gottsagen?
I'm not sure. I think it's probably Gottsagen.
I can't ever get that right. Shia LaBeouf. I did that on purpose. Dakota Johnson, John Hawkes, and Thomas Hayden Church, which I was not prepared for.
I was actually, when I saw it, I was like, wow.
Yeah, I was not prepared for that. The plot follows a young man with Down syndrome who escapes from an assisted living facility and befriends a wayward fisherman on the run. As the two men form a rapid bond, a social worker attempts to track them. Filming took place in North Carolina and Georgia, and that was courtesy of Wikipedia. And I have to get the cat off the table.
Yes, because he's a bit much right now.
So this is both of our first times watching this.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes, and I have wanted to see it for a few years. It was recommended when I was taking my graduate classes, and we were doing a unit where we had to watch films with individuals with intellectual disabilities and how they were portrayed in the movies and what the stories were about. I didn't get to pick my movie, so I couldn't pick the Peanut Butter Falcon. I forget the name of the movie, but it was about Down syndrome, but it was about the movement of getting them into individuals with intellectual disabilities into public schools.
Right.
So I didn't get to see it then. I meant to, but I was in grad school, so life got ahead of me. And then the other day I thought about this movie and I'm like, we should do this movie. As we have gone over this before, my master's degree is in special education with severe and profound disabilities as my highlight, and adapted curriculum. So this kind of like pinged at my heartstrings a lot because I love these guys. I really do. There's just, there's something magical about working with these individuals.
So this is directed and written by Tyler Nilson and Michael Schwartz, who both did The Moped Diaries and Los Freakies.
Okay.
So they've done several things together. I think they're kind of a team for the most part. And they definitely have a style.
Yeah.
They tend to pick, and it looks to me like they tend to pick these individual cultural aspects and really lean into them.
Oh gosh, yeah, because the cultural aspects of North Carolina.
Well, the southernness, there's a southern. This is more. It's not a Southern Road movie. This is more of a Southern Gothic.
Yeah, no, I think I kind of agree with that. No.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
because You get that feeling all throughout this.
Oh yeah, you're getting the gritty, you're getting the backwoods, you're getting I mean, okay, so here's the thing. It was supposed to be I mean, a lot of it is filmed in the Outer Banks.
Yeah,
And you're supposed to, it's supposed to take place in the Outer Banks. Now, the town that they're going to is called Ayden, North Carolina. Ayden is nowhere near the Outer Banks. It's in Pitt County. It is not even on the way to Florida because that's one of the things is they're heading. Tyler, which is Shia LaBeouf's character, is heading to Florida,
right.
and so he's going to drop Zach off on the way. Again, we'll talk about that more in a minute, but it is not there. But you get that feeling, regardless of actual location and geographical mistakes. It feels like the grittier parts of the Outer Banks. Now, I have being part of when I was in college, especially when I was in community college, I was in Phi Theta Kappa, and we did a lot of traveling throughout North and South Carolina for different conventions and such. So I got to see a lot of these areas and a lot of these, poor towns that we would go through. And a lot of it, I mean, just we're Thomas Hayden Church's house, the mobile home. That's like, we see that just down the road, those, and it's not just the mobile home. We see that the broken downness of it, the, just even just being on the shore when they're out in the Outer Banks area, when they're on the beaches and stuff and the things you see, it's such a beautiful state. It's such a poor state, but it's such a beautiful state. It really, yeah.
I mean, I grew up in the area, not in North Carolina, but in the South.
Mm-hmm.
Memphis, Louisiana, Mississippi.
Yeah,
they're all poor, but they have what land there is that hasn't been taken over, is beautiful.
Oh yeah, it's hot, it's sticky, but it's green and it's lush, and it makes me, I don't know. It makes my heart sing because I feel like this is where I've always meant to be, was down here in this area. And I'm a Jersey girl by heart. I know I love my state, but also it's not the same. It's just not the same.
Right.
Unless you just live out in the Pine Barrens, which is, partly what I did.
So the thrust of the story, the main thrust, the thing that everything wraps around is Zach, who has Down syndrome.
Yes.
He's a young man, but not a child.
No, actually, Zach is, I think when they filmed this, he was around 34 years old.
Yeah, but what was he playing?
They don't really say, but I'm going to say he's probably in his mid-20s.
Mid-20s. Yeah, so a young man, not a child.
Nope.
Escapes from a nursing home. Now, the nursing home is because he was put there because there was literally nowhere else to put him.
And that's a problem.
Because he doesn't get any actual needs met.
Nope.
He is being fed. He is being housed.
But that's it.
That is it.
Like any other nursing home, he has, he's got his meals and maybe there's some activities, but they're catered to elderly people. And he's a kid, compared to.
And he gets to see that, he's treated differently than everyone else, including the people he's in this home with.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And a lot of people they use the word that is taboo in special needs circles. We don't use the R word, and the R word is used so much. It's like, okay, there's very few. I curse like a truck driver, y'all. So we all know, we've established this. I curse a lot, and there are just a very few words in this cursing vocabulary that I won't use, and yet the R word is one of those words, which I know is not technically a curse word, but it makes me uncomfortable. And even before I knew the repercussions of that word, I hated it. It made me feel icky.
So Zach is looking to escape.
Yes.
But he's not the only one trying to escape. Throughout the movie, we have different versions of this. Zach's is the most literal.
Yes.
Then we have Tyler.
Yes.
Who is trying to escape, not the people that are chasing him.
No.
He's trying to escape himself. I identify oddly more with Tyler than anyone else in this film.
I get that. I mean,
we've all made those horrendous, not all of us, those of us who have made horrendous bad judgment calls or done things that they just cannot see the light of. who have to live with themselves with it.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
That part of it I get completely. And it is poignant throughout the entire thing.
Yeah, he's trying to, at first he's trying to escape, he's got the shadow of his brother who apparently he feels like, I mean, from what I get, they don't really come out and say exactly what happened to his brother, but you kind
Well,
of,
they imply heavily that his brother died in the car wreck because he fell
he
asleep.
fell asleep. So,
Tyler fell asleep
Tyler,
at the wheel,
yes.
and his brother died during
And
that.
his brother, I'm assuming, was probably what kept him going. And Tyler takes me as somebody who already has depression and issues, anger issues, and having his brother Mark probably was his, like, his lifeline, his anchor. And then with Mark gone, he just had, no more fucks to give. And you could see that he also, when he meets Zach, he doesn't want to deal with him at all until he finds out that Zach is kind of quote unquote on the lam as well. And that bonded them, because as soon as that happened, as soon as he found out about that, he was like, oh yeah, no, we're bonded. We have a common thing here. So yeah.
Well, yeah, they found commonality in the fact that they're both trying to escape something.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Tyler kind of sees himself as Zach's brother very early on.
Very early on.
I think he starts identifying that unknowingly to him,
Mm-hmm.
that Zach is kind of his redemption.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have that thought process, but you see that happening throughout. He saves Zach's life
Yeah.
when he jumps in the water.
Yeah, because see, he brings Zach so far. So, okay. Without going into the movie too deeply.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about the entire movie's
Tyler's on the run because
sure.
he was making a lot of stupid choices and he pissed off the wrong people. And then he made a really, really big stupid choice. And that was why he was on the run.
And then we have Eleanor, who's also trying to escape something. Hers is more emotional and inside.
And
It's
we
not
don't
a
know
physical action of escape.
No, because
she's trying to escape her feelings.
Yeah, because again, that's something that we don't even notice until much later on, because she doesn't really talk about herself. But so I'm not gonna lie, this is my first time ever really seeing a movie with Dakota Fanning in it. Not Dakota Fanning. Oh my God, I always want to call her Dakota Fanning.
Well, I mean, you certainly said a name.
Dakota Johnson.
I mean, they're both actresses.
Yes, but Dakota Johnson.
They both have feet.
She is the Nepo baby because her mom is Melanie Griffiths, and I think her dad is Don Johnson. I think it's who it is. Yeah, Doug's the Johnson. I'm so loopy today. Okay, so I only know of her because of the 50 Shades of Grey debacle bullshit, which I refuse to acknowledge existed even as a book because it is horrifying. But so I've kind of like looked at her like cringy. But she did a good job in this movie. Like I liked her character. She cared. You could tell she honestly gave a shit about Zach. And not just like when she was upset about them wanting to put him in another home that was more for drug addicts. He didn't belong in a home like that either. He needed to be in either a group home or with a family that was going to be able to tolerate, tolerate's not the word, to give him the services and give him what he needed. And he wasn't going to get that at a nursing home nor at a drug rehab facility.
Right.
And I don't know why people seem to think that's okay to put people with disabilities, intellectual disabilities particularly, in places like that.
But the whole reason Eleanor is at the facility is because she holds people's hands as they die. She takes care of older people.
Yes.
And she is the end-of-life caregiver.
Yes.
And you really understand that this is why. Is because she had a husband who had died. And you get no other backstory on
just
that.
That she's a widow.
Just that she's a widow. And it affected her profoundly. Whether or not she was a social worker before that, don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But she's still in this job for a reason.
Yeah.
And the one bit of life that was actually in the place that wasn't someone she was like watching die was Zach.
So they had to give her some form of life. And he's funny, and he's a little character. He really is a shit. I mean, even from the get-go with the little old lady Rosemary and him giving her the picture. So again, a lot of times when individuals with intellectual disabilities, they can't write, but they're not unintelligent. There's just things that they can't do. It doesn't change their abilities just because they have disabilities. And he can't maybe write, and because it doesn't say that he can, but you get the impression that he cannot write. So he gives Rosemary a picture with a pudding cup, a question mark, and then a picture of him as a superhero, or as a wrestler, because that's what he wants to be. And she knew exactly what that meant. She knew that meant,
They'd probably discussed it beforehand.
yeah, but it's still adorable. And she did. She gave him the distraction for him to bolt out that door and then promptly get tackled by an orderly. That was like, oof, I didn't even expect that at all.
It's like he has been there for a long time, and he has planned on leaving. He wants to get to the school
That he's seen in videotapes.
that is for wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And these are old videotapes. He's been watching them over and over again. He wants to go to the school. He wants to be a wrestler.
Yes.
And it's saltwater.
The saltwater redneck,
Yeah, the saltwater redneck.
played by Thomas Hayden Church.
Right.
So, and then again, this is another thing where if you don't know the population and how they work, you're not going to understand that sometimes they don't understand the difference between the reality and the fiction. And so seeing those videos, to him, that's very real. And time is not passed, because even you can say to him that those videos were old. He's going in his mind, but they exist. It's happening in this tape, and that is again very true. And he always promises, "Oh, you can come to my birthday party." And I can't even tell y'all how many times I've been invited to birthday parties unofficially by kids who are like, "I like you. You're going to come to my birthday party, right?" You know, it's just part of it. It's the innocence of it. I love it.
So Zach's escape sets the stage for type of autonomy that this movie's trying to talk about.
Yes. Sorry, Poe is with me and she's being a butthead.
And I think that a lot of this has to do with grief.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, almost all of this is about grief. Zach is the one light
And even
and all of that darkness. And yet he is still got his own grief, because he fully realizes, maybe not all the ramifications, but he realizes the bleak life he has being in this home. And he's just surrounded by the ends of lives and not his own life. And it gets repeated even through Tyler, that you have to start making memories about your life.
Oh, yeah. And he even says that he was left there. Now, we don't know what happened. Now, statistically speaking, he probably had older parents and they were unable to take care of him. Or they just couldn't afford to take care of him. There's so many reasons why. Now, am I agreeing that they should have left him there? No. But I know there's so many reasons why he would have been left in a
Or they
home.
died.
Or they died. That's what I'm saying. You know, like if they were older.
Because there was no mention of contacting the parents.
Nope.
Or the family.
Yeah. And I hate to say, but in some cases they do sign over their rights completely to the state.
Sure.
And so, you know, who knows how many group homes he's been in and how, I mean, he's been in that home for 2-3 years, I think they said, but who knows where he was at before all of that.
Right.
Yeah. And again, there's group homes, y'all. That's what they're there for.
Unless you don't have access to them.
True.
And in poor areas like this, they wouldn't.
I do know they will move them.
Sure.
I've had students move from one area to another area because there happened to be space in that particular group home.
Provided there's space.
Yeah, and they wanted to keep these, and it was 2 brothers, and they wanted to keep the 2 brothers together. So that I do know is something that it will happen. They'll move them all over the state. When I was working at the specialty school, they were moving them. Parents were actually having their kids live in group homes near our school, even though they didn't personally live anywhere near our school, just so they could go to this school. So
I think they're kind of letting this be the worst case scenario for a young man, is to be left in a nursing home, because before that they were just putting in institutions.
Oh, yeah.
So, the least of those bad things was a nursing home.
Oh, no, definitely.
And he escapes because an older gentleman helps him out.
Mm-hmm.
His roommate, who became his friend.
Yes, his family. He's
Right.
and he.
And family is a big part of this
Oh,
movie.
definitely.
This is about found family. We
Mm-hmm.
get that a lot in a lot of movies. In this one, it's weird in the what would be the child
Mm-hmm.
would be bringing the parents together.
Yeah. He
And
parent trapped him and didn't even know it.
kind of, although he's not a
No,
child.
he's not a child.
And Tyler makes sure that Eleanor knows not to
That
treat him like a child.
so there's a thing we use called person first speech. You don't talk about a person in front of them, and you don't talk to them like they don't know what's going on, or that they're not aware of who they are and their disabilities. And that's kind of what Eleanor started. She wasn't using person first speech. She was talking at him like he was a little kid. You hungry? I have an apple. I have M&Ms. And Tyler was like, don't.
Which makes sense because she's not trained for this.
No, it's not her.
She's trained for end of life
Mm-hmm.
and dealing with nursing home
Oh, yeah.
people.
And in some cases, when they have, a dementia, they're going to revert back to childish behavior and childish
Yeah.
personalities. So that would come in handy, being able to pull that out of your pocket. But I do respect Tyler for standing up for him and saying, he just needs to experience life, because what life is he going to have living in the nursing home?
Yeah, Tyler is a bit of a. You really don't know where you're going to be with him at any given moment.
Yeah,
He's violent.
he's violent.
He has anger issues. He's obviously still dealing with his brother's loss.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we're in the grief area. This is a difficult movie to talk about. I'm really trying to come up with the components because I like a component
Mm-hmm.
in my movies where I can break them down and say, well, these are the things.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of this is assumed.
A lot of it is assumed.
You have the feelings that are assumed that are building throughout the episode or throughout the
movie.
the
Yeah.
movie itself. But episodically, you have Tyler and Zach moving.
Yes.
Okay, they're traveling.
Yes.
They're doing the almost quintessential, Mark Twain travel.
Well, that was the thing, is it is kind of Huckleberry Finn
Yeah.
ish. Yeah.
So you have that, and then you have the other thing of Eleanor trying to find Zach.
Mm-hmm.
So you have her kind of smaller journey behind them, trying to find Zach, or not even trying to save her job. She doesn't. You get the sense she doesn't care that much about
I
her
think
job.
especially when she calls the job back and she's like, I have him, he's right here in front of me. And then they're like, well, they suggest that other place where he would end up in a rehab, basically.
With drug addicts
And they said in prostitutes.
and
which,
prostitutes, which I think is ridiculous.
But yeah,
Are they rehabbing prostitutes now?
I mean,
What are they doing? Refreshing vaginas?
Exactly. I mean, what the hell?
There's nothing. Okay, there's nothing wrong with sex work.
No, there's nothing.
If we have a patriarchy, they have a right to make money from that patriarchy.
Oh shit.
So the issue becomes, why would they be lumped into this conversation with drug addicts?
Exactly.
So it doesn't make any sense to me. And I was a little put off by that. I was like, that's messed up. There are plenty of people who are prostitutes who do sex work, and they don't necessarily have an addiction. That's a weird thing just to throw in there.
Yeah. So this movie, there's a lot of flaws with this movie. But I get where the writers were going with it. They were trying to.
I have to disagree. I'm going to disagree here with that assessment. I don't think there's a lot of flaws in this movie.
There's a lot of it's not flaws like in that sense. I mean, like at one point in the beginning, when right after Zach disappears, the one of the nurses comes up to the door and she says, Lee wants to talk to you. Well, that's the name of the actor. The character's name was Glenn.
Oh, gotcha.
So there's like a lot of mistakes like that, things like that. That's what I meant about mistakes. Like, and even like the location kind of bothers me because, It's
Obviously.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm weird about stuff like that. But I think that so let me give you some backstory, my friends. Uh, Mike Schwartz and Tyler Nilson, which I just realized the Tyler aspect. I don't know if that was on purpose or not. Tyler and Tyler. So they met Zach while Zach was at a camp for individuals with disabilities, and for actors. They wanted to who want to be actors. Zach was inspired when he was younger by the actor Chris Burke, Corky.
Yeah.
Chris Burke, who is 59 years old right now.
Holy crap.
I know.
Are you kidding me?
I had to look it up. I was like, oh, please don't tell me he passed away. I'd been so upset. But Chris Burke, and he, because he grew up seeing that, and he also grew up with Grease and other musicals, and he really just wanted to be an actor. And he met the two gentlemen at this acting camp. And he said, this is my story. I just want to be an actor. I want to go out there and I want to do this. They were so inspired by him that they wrote this movie. Then they changed actor to wrestler, but otherwise this is his story ish. He didn't go obviously on a tangent.
Right.
He lives in Florida with his mom and his stepmom, who he calls his
Aw.
bonus mom. And she's out there. They're both out there trying to, they're getting him jobs and trying to
Good
get,
on him.
I am in love with him. And apparently so is Shia LaBeouf. So you can see, and that's the one thing I said to Beth very early on, is there's a chemistry. So you can't always, okay, I'm trying to explain. There's a chemistry between actors that are like, you can tell that they are just really into each other. And then there's friendship chemistry. And you can't fake that kind of chemistry, I feel. Like that's the chemistry that you can't fake it. If you can tell when actors don't like each other in a movie. Looking at you vibes. Sorry, but you could tell that Cyndi Lauper and Jeff Goldblum did not get along, even though they were supposed to be close. And you look at Shia LaBeouf and you look at Zach, and you're going, there's the head, like they bump heads with each other. It's the playful, the patting of the face thing. That had to have been improvised.
Yeah.
That could not have been in the script at all. And the playfulness that he has with him. So, again, regardless of your opinion of Shia LaBeouf, I don't necessarily have a huge opinion of him personality-wise. I do know he was going through a lot of shit. I know that his movie, Honey Boy, kind of put his dad in a very bad light, which he's later on come out and said, I did not mean for my father. My father was not that abusive. He was just PTSD suffering. And so there's a lot of shit with Shia LaBeouf has a lot of problems, y'all. But he was still drinking and still being a complete idiot when he started this movie. And one night after Zach went to bed, he went out drinking and he got very, very inebriated and got arrested. And he came back to the set utterly embarrassed. And what Shia LaBeouf said is Zach came up to him and took him by the face. And he said, and I'm going to paraphrase here, don't fuck up again. This is my only chance. And he says that he gives Zach a lot of credit for him sobering himself up. He said Zach taught him how to love life, how to look at life in a different way. They've got as far as I can tell, they are still in touch with each other. That's that you could tell. You could just see that Shia LaBeouf really liked, they connected. And
that's the way it should react, or way someone should react when they're shown their privilege.
Exactly.
When Zach says,
don't fuck up. But he didn't say that because he doesn't curse.
Yeah, but if he said, when he says, don't let me down on this. This is my one. This is the only movie I'm going to be in. If this doesn't go through, this is it for me.
Yeah, and honestly, he thought Shia thought he fucked up so bad that he had shut down the production. He thought that he fucked up that bad, that he ruined the movie. So knowing that he didn't, and that he was able to get it together, and honestly, and I have to wonder if that's why in the beginning of the movie, I literally have it in my notes here, Shia LaBeouf, SB mumbles, best watched with closed caption. I was afraid we were going to have to sit through that whole entire movie and not understand a half a word that he said.
Yeah, I got that too. During the first half, You can
Not even in
tell,
the first half, like up into really like when he starts interacting with Zach a bit more.
yeah, but it's the editing.
Yeah.
You can tell they're trying to cut as much as they can around what he's saying.
Mm-hmm. It was very hard to understand him in the beginning, especially when he was talking to the old man in the shop. I was like, what I don't want to like say, what is he saying? But what is he saying? Um,
A lot of it's him, with the affectation he's trying to
oh
take
yeah.
on.
Cause North Carolinians, I mean, the ones who've been here their whole entire, a lot of them, y'all mumble. I'm sorry, but
But it's also, he was not doing well. You
no,
could
he was not
tell.
doing well. And again, he gives Zach a lot of credit for that, and that's a beautiful friendship right there. To me, that's something that you see somebody who, obviously, he has Down syndrome. See, he has not had an easy time with it because a lot of times it's not just about the disability that we see. They have a lot of health issues, heart conditions, hypermobility, which may sound great, but there were scenes with him, and I'm sitting there going, "Oh God, oh God, oh God, his arms, his
When he
legs,
jumped,
Oh my
when he
God."
jumped off the boat, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and
I was like, I bet he actually hurt his ankle there.
because yeah, and it's that freaks me out because they have such hypermobility. The strength I think is funny. So in one scene, Shia LaBeouf gets him across the river. There's a shrimp boat coming across. It's a bunch of stupid, but it's a good scene. But Shia is like he thinks he fucked up and that the kid got hit with the boat, and he's laying on the side of the shore of the river, and Zach comes up to him and he just kind of boom picks him right up. And that's another thing. Down syndrome individuals, weirdly strong, weirdly strong. They may have that hypermobility, but they have some strength in them that is just, ooh, I had one, she could throw herself across the room and you could not get her up. When she put her weight into it, and she was not heavy. She was just, she knew how, these kids are amazing. I just can't even tell you how amazing they are. But he saw that. He saw somebody who has a disability, and again, life isn't always easy for them in any way, shape, or form, no matter, even when the parents, and I know I see it all the time online. I've met them, parents of individuals with Down syndrome, and they try to give them the charmed life and bless them for that. If you can afford it, please, because these kids do not always live very, very long. But even with that charmed life, sorry, sirens in the background. So even with a charmed life, they're still it's still hard. It's still hard for them. The ones who don't understand why they're different because they don't feel like they're different, or the ones that know that they're different, but they still dealing with people and how they treat them. It's hard, and that's I think what Zach the character was dealing with, was being in that nursing home and knowing that he's being treated differently, and that he there's a life out there, a whole world out there, and he's not going to get to see it, stuck in that building, and he was going to die there.
Right.
That was it.
He was going to live an entire life inside an old folks' home.
Yeah, I mean, at least with a group home, and I granted I get what they were doing, but I'm just saying the benefits of a group home, and that now there's a lot of problems with group homes. A lot of times, the behavior kids go to the group homes, and it can cause a lot of problems for the others. But if they try to take them places. They try to have parties for them and do nice things for them. And a lot of the people who run those homes, and I'm not saying all of them because some of them are really shitty people, but the ones who love what they do and they love these kids, and I'm saying kids in the broader stroke, some of them are in their 30s, 40s, 50s, but they're your children and you love them and you do everything you can for them. And I know many of them who would spend their good money making sure they had amazing Christmases and make sure they have the best backpacks and coats for when they do go to school. And so it's hard. It's hard, and I couldn't imagine. I mean, I get to go home at the end of the day. So for me, I can't imagine what it's like to have to live, 24/7 and deal with that, and to have to make their life easy for them. And who's making life easier for you?
So Eleanor is able to go home at the end of the day, but she doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
She goes out. She's told to go find him.
Yeah, which never would have happened like that.
It never would have happened, but you had to have that because Eleanor's not actually in the movie
No.
very much until about the last quarter of the movie.
Yeah.
And that's when she quickly becomes, I don't know, romantically tied to Tyler in a distant way.
Yeah, I think there you start to see that, they bond a little bit over, I think it's the bonding over Zach.
It is, but I think it's just really forced in there.
It kind of is, because
There, in some ways, it's very nice in that there's not a lot of, they're like actually, they're not having sex, but because they fell in love in 5 minutes,
yeah, I think that when he kisses her, and I know he kissed her just so he could handcuff her to the to the steering wheel to keep her from, seeing what was going on with Zach. Um, I think that I know he did that on purpose, but I think if they never kissed, but yet at the end when his hand goes on her shoulder, that would have been enough for me to show the building relationship, because I could see that when he got hurt, her going, I actually fucking care for this asshole.
Yeah.
That would have been a moment. But I
Right.
think before that, it was very preemptive.
Yeah, I think so too. But I also think that not a lot of emphasis was placed on the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
It was just there. It was there.
Yeah.
It was kind of wedged in, but it was there. And I think they just had to show for some reason, whenever you have family involved, there has to be romance at some point.
Yeah.
It can't just be a bunch of siblings.
Yeah. I mean, we did that with Party of Five, y'all. They were siblings.
It's fine. It's not that big a deal. I think Eleanor, who had the choice to do what she does, she chose to go with them. She did not have to. Even
No.
throwing the keys doesn't stop her. She could just call a cab or an Uber or get someone to pick her up. She wasn't that far away.
No.
And there's only one fucking road.
Basically.
Because you're going through the Outer Banks. So if you're going from one to the other, there's one road.
Pretty much.
And I think that Eleanor was very at home. She didn't do the, oh no, I'm a girl. And
No, she
there's
dug right into it.
mosquitoes. And she's dressed in a way that would make you think that she would be that way.
And she kind of calls Tyler out on that, because he's like, where are you from? And she says, Raleigh. And he's like, oh. And like the assumptiveness of, well, you must be, just a girly girl, or you must be, I can't think of the word I'm looking for. Just pampered or privileged or whatever.
Right.
And she's
a rich girl.
Yeah, and it's not the case per se. Not saying that she's not a rich girl, because, whatever, but like when she goes into the convenience store and the little old man, he's like, I'm not trying to be rude, but you're the prettiest thing I've seen around here in a long time. And I'm like, that's such a, y'all, that's such a North Carolina thing.
Really is. But yeah, the Eleanor gets involved in this group dynamic, and she travels with them.
Yep.
Is that insane? Yes, quite insane to go with a guy, even if you love Zach, to go with this guy you don't know on a raft.
Yeah.
Down a river.
Yeah. And I get why she did that, because, I mean, if she doesn't know if he's a killer, so why should I leave Zach with him? And Zach is obviously not going to leave without going and finishing their epic
crusade. I mean, she had little choice as far as that, but she could have stayed on shore and called the cops.
That is true. And again, that's what would have happened, is the group home would have called the police to go search for him, which probably would have ended up with Zach having a major meltdown and probably would have gotten him hurt in some way.
Yeah, I want you to remember that moment, that right there, what you're talking about right now, that whole structure you did, the 3 sentences.
Yes.
Remember that for the end.
I know, because that happens in real life.
No, we'll go into it at the end.
Okay.
I just want to remind you of that section. So I knew that was going to come up.
But yeah, because that's
and
how
I was
feel.
Ready for it. I've got such a plan to have very little return on my initial investment.
I'm really bad with names, y'all, but I do have stories, so yes.
So we have their bonding, they're traveling, they're bonding. That is the quintessential
and Zach
Odyssey. This is a microcosm of the Odyssey.
Oh yeah, definitely. It is Huckleberry Finn meets Odysseus.
Right.
Yeah, and it's without a lot of the gods pissing everybody off or getting.
And that's not true. I honestly don't think that's true. I think we do have the gods represented.
Oh, that is true. Samson.
We have Samson. We have, and even if you're talking about the benevolent gods.
Yes.
The saltwater redneck.
Oh, yeah. That is true. So again, Zach has got these movies, these VHS tapes, and he wants to go meet the saltwater redneck because the saltwater redneck has a school to teach people how to wrestle. What he doesn't know is that's closed down 10 years ago, and he doesn't do this anymore. And they go on their adventure, and they make it to Aiden, and they meet the saltwater redneck, except he's a guy named Clint who doesn't
Right.
run the school anymore. Did you catch that? Zach kept calling him Clifton.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think, there are other gods
You're right.
involved, like Rat Boy.
Oh my God, yes. No, he's shit. I mean, who would you say that he is? I would definitely would. He's one of the, like, I would say he's like oh my God, in the Hercules cartoon, the Pain and the two little wormy guys. I can't think of their names. It's Pain and something. Panic. Pain and Panic. That's who they are. Yeah.
But I think these are, you have your trickster gods, you have your aggressive, you have Mars represented, there's so many different aspects to this. I mean, because we're talking about a fusion. This is Southern Goth.
Yes.
Southern Gothic. And it's a love story. There's so many things packed into this.
It's found
family. It is a found family, but you have all these different aspects within all of it. That's why I'm saying, as much as I didn't care anything about this film when it came on, because I didn't know anything about it, and I had to do research for it just to figure out what it was called. I was calling it, and when I Googled it, I seriously looked up Peanut Butter Hawk.
And then this morning you were like, let me know when you're ready to watch the Nut Butter Falcon. And then it got so bad that when she was looking for it to watch it, guys, she was like, wait, is that the right name? I've been saying it wrong for so long now. I don't know if it's the right name.
Well, I was making up alternate names because it was fun.
Well, it's a silly name.
But then I got lost in the reality.
It's a silly name, but honest to God, wrestlers have silly names.
I mean, I was doing like the Vegemite titmouse at one point. I mean, I had made up all kinds of things just to, like any kind of spread.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's not butter, pigeon.
What the hell?
So there were
you feel bad now, don't you, huh? Because it's a good movie.
Well, here's the thing. It is a terrible movie. I hate it because it brings up so much shit. It brings up if you have any kind of background in any of these three archetypes.
Oh, yeah, no.
You're going to have a bad day. Is it worth seeing? Fuck yes, it's worth seeing.
So worth seeing.
But are you going to be sad and a little bit strung out at the end of it? Yes, you should get counseling.
I mean, it does say that it has a bittersweet ending, and they weren't wrong.
It wasn't just bittersweet. Bittersweet is something you go, this is bittersweet in the way that it slaps you around and throws you out of the fucking ring.
Yeah, literally.
So, I mean, it's not, even the ending is unsatisfying.
It kind of is, because you're supposed to make your own, assumption on how it ends. I'm not going to tell everything because I don't want to give away the ending for people who've not seen the movie. But for a hot minute, you're thinking, this is supposed to be a comedy.
Yeah, I didn't get much comedy. What I got was a lot of feel-good.
Yeah.
There are a lot of feel-good moments. Most of them are with Zach and Tyler.
Zach is just adorable.
There's several with Eleanor, but again, she's brought in towards the last quarter, and they really had to wedge her in there.
Yeah.
I think she was needed.
Mm-hmm.
I do think she was required because Tyler isn't good on his own.
No.
Zach isn't good on his own.
So
Eleanor's just fine on her own.
But I think they complement each other. I think I get what
Sure.
you're saying. So Eleanor, again, they didn't have to have a relationship to do this, but Eleanor is the logic. She is we kind of need a house to sleep in and a shelter and a change of clothing and a healthier way to eat, not just living on peanut butter and whatever fish we catch. Tyler is like, okay, great, that's fantastic, but he needs to also explore the world, see the world, do things, get dirty, get hurt,
Isn't there a whole
live.
branch of teaching right now that is about that kind of thing?
There is, so there's lots of it, but like when you look at like the Montessori, they believe in like the hands-on learning through experience.
Yeah.
I love
I think
honestly.
I've seen it on actually like on like Bob's Burgers or something where it's they teach them. Oh no, it was on. I think it was on TikTok or something.
Probably they do a lot of Montessori.
Um,
I have a lot of Montessori toys because I think that they make amazing um interactive toys that I think are just very well built. And they're no, not they're the plastics don't. I mean, that's not true. They do have plastics, but it's not all plastics. A lot of wood, so they have a lot of tactile toys. I feel, and they work. And tactile toys work great in a special education classroom. With one, I have one where it's got locks and keys of all sorts, lots of sorting, lots of but again, not just sorting of colors, it's sorting of colors with textures and numbers. And there's a lot that they have. Oh, I love my hamburger. It's a hamburger and they have to find the pattern, and so they pick a random card and then they have to build the hamburger based on what the card is telling them, so it's following directions and things like that.
right.
And again, in a special education classroom, even when you're dealing with like high school kids, it might sound like a baby toy, but in reality, if you're like doing job skills and they want to work in a restaurant, they got to know, well, okay, this is the order. What do I do in the order? And so maybe they can't remember how the order goes. So you give them the visual, which would be the card that they would pull in the game. And you give them that visual of, okay, well, the bun and then the patty and then the cheese and a special education person or intellectual disabilities, they can do it. That's how they learn and that's how they remember, is having that visual. It's all understanding that there's a diversity in their ability to learn, and it's not that they can't, it's just finding out what works.
Yeah, I was talking more just like
I know I went off
there
on a
are
tangent.
schools that are not schools entirely, but classes
Classes. Yeah, I went off on a
they will take them
tangent.
out into the natural world
Oh yeah.
and they they learn about the things hands
Oh,
on.
that's what I mean. I did that when I first started working in special education. Was we went out to the community and we did jobs in the community.
No, I'm not talking about jobs. I'm
Oh,
talking
okay.
about going out and learning about butterflies by being
Oh,
out there,
yeah. There
learning
is. I
about
forget what it's called, but
how trees grow and stuff like that. I'm talking about, that type of thing.
so I know that there's this whole note. What is it called? Unschooling your children. Now, I am against unschooling in the sense that you have people who can barely keep their heads above water on their own, trying to teach their kids because my kid ain't going to no public school and getting indoctrinated. But they do. If you look at the whole the idea of it. When we lived in the farmhouse, our landlord, he was a college professor, and he always said that education, and this is kind of a theory I've always kept in my head. College kids should be taught the way elementary school kids are taught. They should be the ones expected to sit in a classroom for 8 hours and learn their studies. Where elementary school kids, and this was his example, was you want to learn about a frog, you go to the library, you get a book about a frog, you go out into the backyard, you find a frog, you observe the frog, you watch the frog, you learn about parts of the frog
Right.
from nature and from learning. So yes, and again, I don't know what the technical, I don't know if that's Montessori per se, but I know that that is part of the unschooling. But you still need a structure. And I think a lot of parents who are doing quote unquote unschooling are not giving their children the structure that they need. They're just saying, oh, well, he likes Minecraft, so we got a book on Minecraft. They're not learning anything. They're just playing Minecraft. It's about teaching them. You have to.
I don't want to debate the
I know,
merits of
unfortunately,
unschooling
and
because
I'm a
that's not what
teacher,
this
so
is.
I know it's my
That's not what
background.
this podcast is about. But
No.
I did see that on TikTok and Blue Sky. It's Park Rose Permaculture.
Mm-hmm.
She was talking about it.
Oh,
I was
okay.
trying to look up and see who it was that had actually said it.
And what did she talk about, unschooling, or is it just about?
Unschooling. Her and her husband are highly educated,
Yeah.
and I think he was a professor.
Unschooling is great if you've got the time and the ability. It
Yeah,
is fantastic. It's better than even homeschooling, because I feel like with homeschooling, you have to rely too much on the group.
right. But that's what they did. They
Yeah.
did unschooling, but they did it, not for, I don't know, I guess in some ways, yeah, it is for taking your kid out of,
Schools are dangerous, not gonna lie. They're dangerous right now. I
well,
mean,
taking them out of the rhetoric
oh yeah.
and letting them learn for themselves, read for themselves, think for themselves.
When I look at my own education and I see a lot of the things that I know that as an educator that other teachers did wrong, but then I see all the things that they did right and how they don't get to do those things now.
Sure.
And I think that's part of it. And it is. We didn't go to school in fear, not for those reasons, not for the reasons these kids go to school.
Right.
So yeah,
True,
no.
because I never, not once, in my entire 12 years of Loren schooling,
Mm-hmm.
ever have to wear a bulletproof backpack.
Yeah, until I was in college, or actually, no, it wasn't until I was an assistant in a classroom that I ever had to go through a shooter drill, an active shooter drill. So yeah, these are what these kids are dealing with. And honestly, if you ever want to know, if you don't have a child in a school and you want to know what these kids actually go through, or you want to discuss the cat litter in the classrooms, because I will explain it to you that it's not for the reasons that like people want to believe it's there for. But I will talk, hey, email us, let me know. I'll explain it to you. But yeah, the schools are scary. And all I can do when I'm in a school is to make sure that my classroom is literally a safe space for them. Not out of some liberal belief that I think that every kid should have a safe space, but because I want it to be their home away from home. I want it to be a place that they can be safe physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever. It's
Yeah, they're
my
going there to learn, not to be threatened at every turn.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I want them to enjoy it. I want them to be happy to be there.
So we've gotten kind of
Oh,
far
I know.
afield.
And again, this because this is my passion, like my not passion, but this is my study. So when it comes to this group of people, so I tend to go on my tangents about it. Um,
So Zach does get to Aiden
yes, he does.
with Tyler and Eleanor
Mm-hmm.
helping him along the way. Now, Zach spent the first quarter of the movie in his underwear,
Because he forgot to put his clothes outside the window when he squirmed outside.
which honestly was probably better for him than everyone else
Yes.
because he was the one that was actually cool
Yeah, because honest to
outside.
God, South Carolina or North Carolina and Georgia in the freaking summer heat is
Yeah,
not
could
fun.
not be fun.
Oh no, all the humidity.
So the sitting there in your underwear probably felt a little miserable, but also a little bit cooler than most people doing
Probably.
it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they make it to Aiden
Yep.
and they find out that um,
Saltwater
saltwater
redneck
redneck is
retired.
retired, and Tyler's the one that's talking to him,
Yeah.
and he's saying it very low because he doesn't want Zach to hear. Hey
No.
man, he
Just
just wants you to. Can you wave at him? And Clint, who is the saltwater redneck,
yeah.
he's an
Yeah.
amiable person. You get the sense that he was going to answer it and be very surly, and this was going to be a travesty.
Yeah, I kind of thought that was like, oh, he's gonna be a dick.
And even so, even though he was not a dick, he was just confused,
Mm-hmm.
didn't really know what to do with this, and he just kind of, I mean, they have to go away because he doesn't do it anymore. He doesn't
No.
have and he doesn't know what to do with this.
No.
And Tyler understands that he just knocked on this man's door and put him on the spot.
Yeah.
But he did shake Zach's hand and, as Clint,
Yes.
not as Saltwater Redneck, which he sees as two different people
He does.
until he gets to know him, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And they walk off. They're not happy. Zach's not happy. They're all feeling a little dejected.
And Zach is still insisting that they're going to find saltwater because he's like, sorry, he doesn't live here anymore. This is Clint. He lives in this house now, not Saltwater Redneck. So when they're walking off, he's like, well, I think he's still in the area. I bet you he's living out by the beach. And he's like, he's not a real person. And he's like, no, I have the videos. And see, that's where I see that, I see that a lot. That it's on the video, so it's real. Yeah.
You get the sense that Clint's going to be the bad guy in this because he broke Zach's heart.
Mm-hmm.
And they're arguing. Eleanor wants to take them back.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler wants to keep going. And Zach wants to go look for Saltwater Redneck. And behind him, and I'm thinking the whole time that it's the two
I thought it
guys
was the two guys
that
too.
have been chasing Tyler around. Behind them in this really old and rusted Trans Am
Mm-hmm. Doing
comes
donuts and
comes barreling up, and it looks really dangerous. And I'm like,
why are
what?
they moving out of
Are
the
they going to get
road?
hit by these guys? And that's the end of the movie. Um, really short movie, but yeah, the Trans Am slides up, and it's the saltwater redneck decked out in his
Makeup and
makeup and
costume.
everything. You
Yeah,
know, I
so
would say
Clint,
makeup, but the
yeah.
yeah,
Because he had the blue streaks on his face. So,
right.
yeah, so, so Clint went and he put on his old shit again and pretended to be the saltwater redneck. And that made Zach so
And
happy.
not just that, but he got them in the car, took them back, and he set up a little ring in the yard using some rope.
Yep.
So he made a wrestling ring and started trying to show Zach how to do wrestling. So even it's only a day,
Mm-hmm.
that is something Zach gets to say, I did wrestling school.
Yeah. I forget what Tyler says to him at one point. So Zach says to Tyler, "Am I going to die?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, someday. Everyone dies, but it's a matter of what stories you leave behind. Are people going to remember you for, and what you're going to remember, and what you." And so he going across the river and all the different things. These are his moments that he's.
Well, he even says when he picks at the other side of the river, because
Mhm.
that's what they're doing at the time, they're trying to get across
Yeah,
the river, and they almost get hit by a fishing boat.
yeah.
Well, a trawler.
Hmm.
And they get to the other side of the shore, and Tyler is upside down. He's laying on his back, and he's breathing hard because he just had to pull Zach across the rest of the way on this super long fucking rope.
Why?
I don't have any idea why it was that long. But I guess he had to be far enough away to save Zach, but close enough to make it look interesting for the movie.
I guess so.
But anyway, Zach is floating because he cannot swim.
Mhm.
He's floating across the river, and that's why he asks, "Am I
Am I
going to
gonna
die?"
die?
Because he's scared. He has feelings, and he has to remind people.
He did. He said that at one point. He goes, "I'm scared when they get off of Zach's boat or Tyler's boat the first time, and they're walking on the shoals, and it looks like they're in the middle of the ocean, but they're on the shoals, and he's like, I'm scared. I don't know how to swim." And he's got to tell people that and he advocates. Oh my gosh, he's like at one point because he keeps saying Tyler, 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 and he keeps interrupting him. And he keeps asking him all these questions, and he's getting pissed. And he's like, "Tyler, I need to tell you about me. I have Down syndrome, or I'm an individual with Down syndrome." And he's like, "Well, like, duh," but that is something that, again, that's what they're taught. Advocate for yourself. Tell people about yourself.
Yeah,
And it's not the only thing about you. You know.
but when he lifts Tyler up, which is what I was getting to,
Yeah.
when he pulls Tyler up off the ground super easy because he's wicked strong, he says, "We'll remember this."
Yes, he does. Yeah.
So that he is hearkening back to when just moments before, really, before they almost died,
Mm-hmm.
when Tyler said, "Yeah, we're going to die. Just, not right now. And you got to make those memories while you can."
Yeah.
He's reflecting on his time with his brother.
Yep.
And he does this throughout the movie where you have these little vignettes of him and his brother, you know, bonding in some way or laughing in some way
Mm-hmm.
at the bar. And you get the little story throughout all the vignettes that they got along really well. He bought him that 12 gauge
Mm-hmm.
is something that he had bought him. His
Mm-hmm.
brother had bought him. And they went to go drinking. And then on the way home, he fell asleep.
Tyler, yeah.
Tyler fell asleep, killing his brother. That's the sense that you get. You do not get the whole story.
Yeah.
But you don't get the whole story in the movie either.
No, you don't. It's all done in little tiny bits and pieces that you have to kind of connect those dots.
Yeah, and you don't even get all of it.
Nope.
You do not know Zach's lead up. You do not know Eleanor's lead up. She tells you very little about her life.
Mm-hmm.
So little that you're wondering exactly what she brings to the film, but you see it later.
Yes.
And actually you see it in the dancing that she does with Zach.
Mm-hmm.
Because there needs to be that other dynamic there. I don't think it need to be another gender.
It could have been anybody.
I just think it needed to be another dynamic, and she was that third dynamic.
Well, I also like, because that's what he wants to do is he wants to be a wrestler. So um, Tyler helps him come up with his wrestling name, which is the Peanut Butter Falcon, which explains the title of the movie.
Right.
Because, wrestlers have crazy ass names.
Well, Zach comes up with Falcon.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they were going to use, Falcon. Tyler gets up and starts running around looking for branches to make wings for him.
Yeah.
To give him a costume so that he felt more, because he was trying to lift this log and throw it into the fire, but he couldn't. It was too heavy. But he was getting close. And Tyler wanted Zach to just feel empowered.
Yeah.
So he went to get him a costume to help him feel empowered. He's good at talking Zach up.
Oh, he really is.
And he's good at making Zach believe in himself. And that's what Tyler brings to the movie. But he goes off and he's trying to get, the stuff. And Zach is eating peanut butter. And then Tyler comes running back and he's yelling, you can do this, or whatever he's saying. It's very affirmative, even if it's not entirely coherent, because they are a little drunk.
Yeah, the moonshine. Forgot about that.
Yeah, in the movie, the characters are actually drunk. And Zach is eating peanut butter, and he yells back, "Peanut Butter Falcon," and that's how they go with it. Yeah.
And honestly, it's so adorable.
And I'm like, that totally makes sense now. The name of the movie makes sense.
Because think about it, we have saltwater redneck.
I think it's great.
Peanut Butter Falcon.
I think it's great that the title of the movie is not given to you. You have to learn it over time.
No. It's true. It's true.
It's in there. It's in the movie. But you get it over time.
So there are some actual real wrestlers, in this movie.
Oh, sure, yeah. And one I noticed and did not know the name of. The other one I didn't recognize, but I knew the name of and recognized him. So after a moment.
Samson is played by Jake the Snake. So if you know Jake the Snake, I can't think of his last name because I didn't write that part down.
Johnson.
Yeah, something like that. And he...
Let me make sure.
I want to say Roberts.
Roberts.
Okay, Jake
Not
the Snake,
Johnson, Roberts. I was Dakota Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
Stuck in my head.
And the other one you named, it was Mick something?
Mick Foley.
Mick Foley.
He wrote a book.
He did? I didn't know that. Well, see, I grew up in the time.
I think he wrote a couple of books. He's actually insanely smart.
So wrestling was always like a thing when I was a kid. My grandfather loved wrestling. I mean, back to the offensive midget wrestling, because that's what they called it. That's what it was. It was like a thing we would go to.
I think if you're tossing people out of the ring, calling them a little person while you do it, it's probably more insulting. Is probably more insulting than calling them a midget.
I remember.
I don't have any right to say that.
No.
I'm not a little person. I'm not a midget. No. I am not a small person.
I'm just telling you that from what I know, it's not exactly the PC way to say it, but that's what they called it back in the day.
But yeah, of course.
I'm referring
You have to give the actual reference.
So my grandfather, I was very, very close. I think we've already talked about this before. I was very close to my grandfather. I loved that man to pieces. And everything my grandfather did, I did. I apparently ate foods that I couldn't even begin to think about eating nowadays, but apparently I did as a kid because my pop-pop was eating it. I did things with him. I was his little shadow. And while I know from family stories that my grandfather was not the best father, he was an amazing grandfather. And unfortunately, I only had him until he was 57, so I didn't get to have very much time with him. But he loved his wrestling. He loved wrestling, and he loved harness racing. Weird. Those are his two favorite things.
I don't even know how you race a harness.
But we would go to his friend's house. I can't remember the old man's name, but we would go to his friend's house.
That joke never gets old.
No,
it's
never
going to get old.
And it's never going to get funny.
That's also true.
And so my grandfather would buy me when they have them in the canister. I think they still do have them in the canister. What are you doing? Oh, you're gonna fall. You're gonna take her blanket.
Mother, help!
We just slow motion watch the cat fall off a blanket.
I'm gonna edit.
Oh, okay.
Because Because that's ridiculous. Slow falling.
So we would go to my grandfather's friend's house, and I think he was like a great uncle or some shit. I had a lot of weird extended family on that side of the family that
I think I know the Italians
yeah.
well
That
enough
is
to know that they will just make up family members. This is your Uncle Joey. You remember your Uncle Joey?
No, I don't. Actually, I never had an Uncle Joey. Of all the names, I never had an Uncle Joey.
I'm
I
saying.
know. I'm just saying that's funny though. You think I would have had an Uncle Joey, but I never did. I had an Uncle Julio.
See, that just made you more Italian.
Yeah, and it's in a story that has nothing to do with that, but within a story is I was working in a middle school and I had to do attendance, and I went after a certain point of the day, I'd have to go to classrooms. And I remember going to one of the classrooms. I was very, very pregnant with my second kid. And I walked in and I'm like, is Julio here? And they're like, who? And I'm like, Julio. And they're like, oh, you mean Julio? And I'm like, no, it says Julio here. I had an Uncle Julio. I'm going to say Julio. I know what I said. Now, his name might have been Julio, but I know what I said. But regardless, so we would go out to my grandfather's friend's house. My pop would buy me a canister of potato chip, the sticks. And those were,
I don't know why I thought you were going to say you bought me a canister of Freon.
Because that makes sense. Hi, Pops. Oh,
Okay.
you know, his favorite things were Groucho Marx and Benny Hill. So who the hell knows?
Oh, God.
Oh, I love that man so much.
The canister just brought
No,
Freon into mind.
it was a can, and it was a can of the pretzel sticks.
Okay.
Not pretzel sticks, potato chip sticks.
Usually
Potato
I say canister for something for manufacturing, and for food it's a can, but that's fine.
So we would watch wrestling, and then I don't remember the wrestlers so much when he watched, like when I watched it with him. But then like as I got a little bit older, I started to remember characters like
She was sliding the same way that baby cheese just did. Completely innocent. Her face did not change one bit. She just slid perfectly innocent.
poor kitten.
I've got to edit all this.
So as I got older, I remember the WWF was starting to become really popular. Like they had the cartoon. So like I remember watching with my
World
grandfather.
Wildlife Federation.
Yes, the World. That's why they had to change it. So Junkyard Dog, JYD, man, JYD was like, oh, and Jimmy Superfly Snuka, and well, obviously Hulk Hogan, but we don't really. I never was a Hulk Hogan fan, but. The Fabulous Moolah and Captain Lou Albano. I mean, that was Wendy Richter. That
Cyndi Lauper managing.
Cyndi Lauper managing. That was the time that I was really into wrestling. Was that early WWF 80s time period with all of the wackadoo wrestling names and stuff.
The demand for rubber bands went up slightly.
Oh, Rowdy Roddy Piper. I would die for that man. That was like one of my earlier crushes in life was Rowdy Roddy Piper.
I love that movie he
Jacksaw.
was in. He did such a good job in that movie.
Them, I know. We'll have to do them. It's on our list.
Yeah.
Hacksaw Jim Duncan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. See, I was
The Iron Sheik.
The Iron Sheik. We got Brutus Beefcake.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. And what's his face? The Jim Slim guy. I can't think of his name at the moment.
Jim Slim?
Yeah. Bring to his Jim Slim.
Oh, you mean
Snap into his Slim
Randy
Jim.
Savage.
Randy
baby.
Savage. That was it.
Well,
because I blanked on his name because I said
Slim Jim. I'm like trying to think of the name Slim Jim and
no, it was
wrestling.
because I said I had his name in my mouth and then I said Brutus Beefcake and then I went I forgot the other dude's name now. So needless to say, yes, I was an old school wrestling girly. I don't know any of these people now. Don't give a shit. I can't stand it. I can't deal with it. The chick who's now in charge of the Department of Education, her whole family can burn in a fire and I wouldn't give two shits.
Yeah.
But regardless, I get his love of wrestling. If he's going for that old school, that's what I'm getting the impression that Saltwater Redneck
This
was
is a
part of
lot
that
of
kind
old school, but you can definitely see that what is happening is backyard
wrestling,
which is huge apparently.
And very, very violent.
Very dangerous.
Yes.
And usually relegated to the poorer areas.
Mm-hmm, which I did not see a person there with a nice car. So
not always, but usually it's the people who feel they have little control in their lives, and this is the way they kind of gain it
Oh yeah,
back.
beating the shit. It's like bare knuckle wrestling or bare knuckle boxing back in the day.
Yeah. Bare toe
Bare
wrestling.
those toes and those bears.
You know, on the foot, the heel is the butt of your foot. That makes the toes your boobs.
My God. So yes, bare knuckle boxing was a big thing back in like the melting pot time,
Yeah,
early New
absolutely.
York. They were the poor people who had nothing going for
They
them.
couldn't afford boxing gloves.
Well, there also a lot of them were the poor immigrant Irish and the poor immigrant Italian, and they didn't have jobs. They came over here looking for the American dream, and all they can do to make money was to beat the fuck out of each other.
I wouldn't say they came over here looking for the American dream. A lot of them came over here because they were dying.
Well, they were dying, and they were also looking for, or they were
trying to survive a famine.
Yes, well, that's the Irish, yes, but the Italians were coming over here to start a whole career of mafia life.
Oh my God, not all of them. That's crazy.
So apparently,
I can't believe you said that about your own people.
I know,
Wait,
about my
you're not
own-
Italian.
I know.
You're,
I'm not.
you're
So,
Norwegian.
I was raised by an Italian grandfather who was half Italian, half Irish. Okay, my family.
Was he Irish on his mother's side?
Yes, it
God,
was.
how did I call that one?
I mean, yes, she was Irish, but he didn't know her. She passed away, but like when he was a baby.
Yeah.
But but I was raised to believe. I mean, I don't understand how there was no Italian in my DNA testing. Because, I mean, I'm only 4 generations away from full-blood Italian. So I should have had at least a smidge. I think my dad's died, all of his millions of other, and then my grandmother's side and all of her millions of other, diluted my pool.
Wow.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I've got a lot of nationalities.
I've got a lot of brothers and sisters I've never met, but
Me
I don't go
too.
talking about them.
Apparently so do I. Well, I met them all, unfortunately. Don't get along with the one.
In this movie, however, I don't remember what we were talking about.
So the wrestling aspect and the fact that,
Okay,
so he came up with
there
that
we go.
name. Yeah, bringing it back around,
We got
guys.
so far away from wrestling, I forgot what the fuck we were
I
talking.
really wanted to talk about the WWF, you know?
Apparently. Yeah, there's wrestlers in here. Mick Foley is the one I know the best.
Yeah.
Mainly because my best friend, my brother Joe, he loved wrestling. He wanted to write for them.
Oh, wow.
Because it's scripted.
Yeah,
guys.
people, I'll let you know. It's
Hopefully you know that because they actually list their writers. But, Mick Foley was like...
the ref in the movie.
He was the ref in the movie. He looked exactly the same as I had seen him before, except his hair was cut back.
Yep.
His beard was still there. So I recognized him. I just couldn't recognize him.
Yeah.
Until his crazy eyes. And I'm like, oh shit, that's Mick Foley.
So,
I even called Jake Roberts from the back. Like I
did.
saw him in the back. I'm like,
He's in the
hey,
back.
I know that guy. He's a wrestler.
Yep.
And I couldn't name him.
That's okay.
I just remember his face.
So, after Saltwater Redneck, a.k.a. Clint.
Do you keep wanting to say saltwater taffy?
No, I keep wanting to say it was just Saltwater Rat, I think is what I want to say.
Okay, I keep wanting to say taffy. I know it's wrong.
I don't know why I want to keep... Well, I think it's because we had Rat Boy.
Yeah.
Which is funny because that's a nickname I gave one of my former cats. When he got wet, he looked like a
Well,
wet
it's all
rat.
North
So-
Carolina. It's fine.
Rat Boy. So Thomas Hayden Church teaches him how to do some wrestling moves. And then he's like, hey, there's a backyard thing happening over here. We should get you in and so you can...
He has Samson hook it up. He says, I'm going to have Samson. And Samson gets very fucking
quiet.
quiet.
Well, at first he's like, no, I don't think this is a good idea. And then Clint kind of keeps talking over
He
him.
pushes him a little bit
And
on it.
so he kind of is like, oh, well, this is what we're doing then. And Eleanor's against it too. She's not happy with it. And I was siding with all the idiots going, it's fake, so they're not going to really hurt him. It's going to be,
Except Samson is a dick.
Samson is a bigger dick than we realize. And when they get him in that, so Tyler gets him, he hypes him up by finding some cardboard and they make a cardboard falcon head and wings.
Keep in mind, this is backyard wrestling. No one's dressing up in
Nobody's
anything. They are wrestling in WWF style.
Yep.
But they are hitting people with actual metal
Yeah, see,
chairs.
we didn't do the chair. The chairs were like a non. When I was watching WWF, if a chair got involved, it was because they went over the ring, like they were on the
Well,
outside of the
they
ring.
were gonna hit you with their hand and
Yeah,
not the chair.
but I mean, like you didn't see that happen like very often in the
Yeah.
early days. That's more likely to happen, I think, now.
But we're talking about backyard
Oh
wrestling.
yeah,
They're
backyard
actually
wrestling.
hitting you and
Oh yeah.
not faking the hit.
Oh yeah, they're not pulling any punches, guys.
Because Eleanor reacts when she sees the guy get hit in the head with a chair and his tooth flies out.
Yeah.
She doesn't want Zach to get hurt, and she
Mm-hmm.
knows he is too trusting
Yep.
that he won't think about the fact that they're about to throw a punch at him because no one's been throwing punches at him.
Nope. Nope. And
He's not prepared for it yet. He hasn't had that kind of. He's had one day of wrestling school in the grass.
In the grass.
Okay.
And Eleanor gets tricked by Tyler. They're sitting in the Trans Am,
Right.
and Clint had a pair of fuzzy handcuffs on the rearview mirror. They kind of showed him a couple times, but I didn't really think much about it. And he kisses her and he fools her by getting the handcuffs on her and locks her basically in the Trans Am. It's a convertible, guys. So he was not gonna, there was no way to lock her in the car. You can't really lock somebody in the car.
Yeah.
And it's a hatchback, so you can't really use the trunk very well. As a former Camaro owner, it just doesn't work.
I think locking someone in the heat of the day in a trunk is murder.
Yeah, it's murder.
Yeah.
So that's when he goes and he helps Zach out. So Zach comes out in the Falcon thing, and everyone gets quiet because they're like, the fuck? Because he gets announced, the Peanut Butter Falcon, and he comes out, and he's standing there.
Mick Foley gives him a great announcement. He really works it up. And then he comes out in that costume, and Saltwater Redneck goes,
"Oh,
what is that, cardboard?"
So at first everyone's kind of just staring, and the only person cheering him is Tyler. And then he's like going around and he's trying to high five everybody, and they all start to get into it to the point where they're all going, "Peanut Butter Falcon, Peanut Butter Falcon."
Yeah, they really get into it.
And then Samson gets in the ring with him. And the first thing he kind of does is he knocks him to his ass. He pushes him down, and he doesn't hold any punches.
Yeah, and he's telling him he's the R word,
Yes.
and he's not gonna lay down for this kid.
Yeah, which is, dude.
I was like, what are you winning out of this?
Yeah, he's like, this isn't the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Like, you are really a dick.
Yeah, this is backyard wrestling, man. Tone it down a bit.
I mean, shit.
Goddamn. You're not in the WWF and mad because someone didn't give you the spotlight.
Exactly. It's a backyard.
Chill out a little bit. But anyway, yeah, that happens.
And while he's wrestling with Samson, sorry, it's my brain. I bumped the table. So while he's wrestling with Samson, Mutt and Jeff, Rat Boy and whatever his fucking face is, they show up. They found them. Because
I don't know who the other...
I can't remember his name. Mark. No, I think Mark's the brother.
It's Mark the brother?
Yeah, Mark is the
brother.
brother.
Yeah. Mark
I didn't write his name. Winky? Because I have a Winky down here.
Duncan? John Hawkes?
I think so.
Yeah, Duncan.
So they show up, and that's because somebody recognizes Tyler when they first arrive. And they call. And so they show up, and Zach he had been on the ground. And they're like, "Come on, Zach, just say something. Come on. Are you good?"
Well, he's on the mat in the ring.
Yeah, on the mat in the ring. And they're like, "Are you good?" And he gives him a thumbs up, and then he just goes at Samson, and he ends up, and it's fake, guys, but it doesn't matter. He gets Samson in a grip, and he's got him up above his head, holding him
Big guy.
Above his head. He's like 7 feet tall.
7 foot tall.
The man is tall as shit. And hurls him. I thought he was going to throw him at.
Right. I did too at first, but yeah, that wouldn't have made sense for this thing.
Yeah. So he throws Samson, and he goes pretty far.
Like 20, 30 feet out of the ring, but you don't see where it ends. You only see where it starts, and it looks like it's going to be a while before it comes down.
Because everybody, even the assholes, are all like, "Whoa!" all looking at it.
And Tyler is the one, he's cheered him on, and he's amazed at what's happening, so he's standing in awe.
Yeah, and he's not realizing that he's about to get beamed in the head with a...
Yeah, and Eleanor broke out of her the handcuffs because she had a wrench.
Yeah, a little pair of
pliers. Yeah.
And they were also fuzzy handcuffs, so it's not like they were going to hold her for long anyway.
Well, yeah.
But he gets beamed in the head with a tire iron. So.
Yeah, and they do. There's a lot that happens. I don't want to
Yeah,
give
no, we're not
any
going
of
to
that
give you the
away.
rest of it.
But I think that's all I'm going to be able to push out for this.
Because we don't want to give it away.
Well,
We
there's
want
just not a lot to it
No.
that you can go beyond, because it's going to change everything for you, and I don't want to do that.
Oh, no.
So we'll leave it at that. What we'll say, the ending leaves you wishing there was more movie, I think.
Yes. I kind of wish there was at least another 15 minutes at least.
Yeah. I think, but I don't think that's bad.
No. A movie should
I think it's
leave you
frustrating
wanting
as fuck.
It should give you either closure, or it should leave you wanting more in a good way. Both ways.
So you didn't get closure, or you didn't get that. It is frustrating in the way that you're wanting that more to happen. And yeah, you're right. Only about 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I just need a little more time with the family, with the people of the film. I need a little bit more time.
Does Zach still want to be a wrestler?
It flashes. Huh?
I said, does Zach still want to be a wrestler?
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, is that out of his system now, or is this something he wants to pursue? But
yeah.
I think when it flashes, parts of this movie go into little flashes to different people,
Mm-hmm.
and you see the saltwater redneck.
Yeah.
For the last time. Well, Clint.
Yeah.
Because he has all of his makeup off. And he's sitting on his porch, or on the stairs of his mobile home. And I think that was the most fun he had had in a long time, because he looks really
kind of happy, kind of content.
Happy and content, but also like bummed out that everybody's gone.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably concerned, but also, yeah, he's definitely...
I could see if this movie were to be sequelized in some way.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a word? Just made it up. I'm making it now. If it were made into a sequel in some way, I think that Saltwater Redneck should be part of the ending dynamic.
He needs to be the grandpa.
Yeah, I think it would be good for Zach. I think he's a kind person.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that Saltwater Redneck was a kind and thoughtful person.
So
he's been through his life.
Oh, yeah.
And he didn't come out on top of anything, but he's got someone who looks at him like he's a hero.
Yeah, and that's got to make you feel good that you did something.
And he's a good, kind man. He's not an asshole.
No.
And he could very well have been very easily in the writing.
So, if any of you out there are familiar with Thomas Hayden Church and his acting and characters he's played a lot of assholes.
Sure.
Maybe not, they weren't dicks outright, but they were definitely snarky, definitely sarcastic, and could very easily become an asshole. So when you see him in this movie and he's like first at that door, you're thinking, oh shit. He's going to be, because he's got a very good poker face. The man has a very natural poker face.
He has a great straight face. You're like, God, is he gay or not? He has a great straight face. He does not give a lot of emotion.
Exactly. And so the fact that he's standing there and you don't know which way he's going to go. Is he going to be the person he ends up being, or is he going to go flip side and be a complete asshole and yell at them and tell them to get off his property?
And you're worried about that. And you're worried about it not just for Zach's feelings, but also for Tyler and Eleanor. They've been through a lot.
Yeah, and you don't want Zach to have the one person that he has in his head and in his heart as being his hero, he wants to emulate, end up being a complete piece of shit. You don't want that. The world has let him down in so many ways that you don't want that to be the thing that lets him down as well.
And you have to assume a lot of that. You have to assume a lot that Zach has been let down by
whether it's intentional or unintentional. Because again, he may not understand why he's been put in that home. He may not know why he was put in that home.
But he could have been loved up until 2 years from there, and his parents both died.
Yeah, and for him, he could see that as them letting him down. Again, he thinks that what's happening.
He thinks he was left.
And and he watches these videotapes as if they are really happening. He knows that they're videotapes because he can rewatch them over and over again. But he also has
He has no ability to see that the time is different. It's been 10 years since he had a wrestling
yeah,
school.
and so who knows when those videos were made because they were advertising the school.
Right.
So, so you have somebody who does not always have a good comprehension of what people or what's
I think it'd
happening.
be hard for anyone to really know because they're videotapes, and if you're watching it, you're going, "Oh, I bet that I wonder if that school's there."
Yeah, but I mean, him not knowing why he's in that home
Oh
either,
yeah,
and so he may have in his mind the world is it keeps letting him down. So and he's not ever said that because he's actually a pretty fucking cool little kid,
but
little kid, but a guy.
if everybody has told him the kind lie
Mm-hmm.
because they want to spare his feelings and treat him like a child, I think that is something he would never be able to know.
So two of the things that Zach does that I think are my favorite things he does in this whole entire movie. And they're not in this is not in order. The one of them is when he tells Tyler, because this made my heart break, he could have all of his wishes at his birthday.
Right.
And that was like, oh my God, I'm gonna cry now. Um, but it was my favorite part is when he's at the table with Rosemary and they just plotted. He gave her the pudding, he gave her the note and everything, and she's eating her pudding and he's looking around the room and he sees Eleanor, and then Eleanor comes by and he's all smiles at Eleanor and she's like, that is so nice of you that you gave Rosemary your pudding, and he's like, I'm a nice guy. And she walks away, and as soon as she walks away and turns where he can't see her, his smile drops. And I fucking loved that. I don't know why, but it was like, I'm gonna be a sweet guy. Nope, done. Nope, I'm on a mission.
Because he's got some cunning to him.
He does.
He's innocent, but he's got some cunning.
Because a disability does not mean inability, guys. It just means there are boundaries and that there are obstacles, but that doesn't mean that we can't get over the obstacles in different ways. That's something
Yeah.
we need to always remember with anybody who has any type of a disability. And that's my soapbox.
Yeah. So, how did you feel? This is our first time.
Yes,
Just want to reiterate.
I loved it. I felt good. I felt like I could watch this again in the right frame of mind. Sometimes I can't bring myself to watch a movie that brings emotions. There's a few out there that I can name that I either have never watched because I know that they'll make me cry looking at you beaches, or movies that I know make me fucking bawl my eyes out that I can't watch again, and that is Creator with Peter O'Toole. Um, so there's a few movies like that. This is not one of them. I can totally see watching this again, probably finding little nuances that I missed the first few times I saw. It makes me feel a lot, but it makes me feel that I am in the right career path, that this is definitely seeing that representation in a movie. Say, I am not going to cry, y'all. I'm going to not do this. It's so important. And it's not just about race and color. Representation is so important. And for him to see Corky, Chris Burke, that was in the 90s, motherfuckers. In the goddamn 90s. And what representation does Down syndrome really have?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. The little girl in Glee. And then Sue Sylvester's sister in the show, she was Down syndrome, which is why she had the little Down syndrome cheerleader, and why she gave her such a hard time.
Yeah. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
She gave her a hard time in that show because she knew she could do hard things, and she had a sister with Down syndrome, so people were always like, "Oh, why is she so hard on her?" And it was because she knew what it was like to work with somebody or to be with somebody like that, and to that personality that they can do hard things. I'm trying to think. There's not been a lot that I can think of in Down syndrome. John's Crazy Socks. Not a TV show, but him and his dad, they have a company. They sell crazy socks. John has Down syndrome. I got to meet them both. I friggin' love them. When I decided to go to school to get my degree, I actually messaged John and his dad, and I said, you guys are part of my inspiration. And they made me a video telling me congratulations and that people, we needed people like me to go out and work in schools and stuff like that. Seeing that representation, seeing Zach go from acting camp and having to meet the right people and getting to have his movie made, even though it wasn't necessarily his movie, it was his chance to make a movie. And to
Kind of
get
was his movie.
yeah, and to get to
I
live.
mean, they literally wrote the part for him.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, because it wasn't his story is what I meant, like, because it was a different story. But that's fantastic, and obviously it gives me a fuck ton of feels, a lot of emotion. It is definitely going to be, if I end up going into higher education and teaching teachers to be teachers in special education,
Mm-hmm.
I will have it on probably one of my curriculum lists of what I want them to watch. And, to break down the pros and cons and how first person speech and how we treat somebody with a disability, and the differences between Eleanor and Tyler, and the pros and cons. I think that would be a really good lesson, as to, especially if somebody who's never seen the movie, to break that down and to turn that into a lesson.
I think it's an imperfect lesson.
Oh, it is an imperfect lesson.
No, in a good way.
Oh yeah,
It's a real life.
I agree.
It's got some real life flaws to it, and they're called out sometimes in this as well.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Not just the don't call them an R, but also, why are you trying to talk someone into jumping into water when you know they can't swim?
You little shit. Yeah,
Why would you
we
do
kind of
that?
glossed over that, but at one point in the very beginning of the movie, Tyler punches a kid, and I'm right there with
He
him.
straight out punches him.
Yeah, because the kid's trying to get Zach to jump into the water from this tower thingy, and he's telling him, "I don't know how to swim," and the kid's like, "I don't care," and then and Tyler's telling him he can't swim, and he's like, "I don't care, I'm gonna push him in the water anyway," and Zach ends up jumping. Or gets pushed into the water from the kid, and Tyler gets up there just in time and just cold cocks that little motherfucker, and I'm right there with him. The kid was probably about maybe 13, 14 years old. I would have beat the shit out of him.
It was a little stunning.
I didn't expect it, but I agree with it, because
I don't disagree with it at all. I think I was just stunned that it happened. I'm like, holy crap, that Shia LaBeouf just punched a kid. God, I hope that was in the script. I'm not trying to make any judgments on him.
But judging.
But him punching someone during a scene would not be the furthest thing
was this
off.
before his revelation or after the revelation?
I don't know.
But regardless, guys, that I have a lot of feelings.
Okay.
How did you feel?
Oh, I thought we were gonna get away with me not doing
Nope,
it.
you got to. It's your turn to cry.
So my feelings on this, it was okay. No, I was trepidatious at first.
Because you didn't know what you were getting into.
I kind of knew because I did research ahead of time, so I could get some notes ahead of time. Just the hard notes. I just didn't know where to go. I was a little bored.
It's in the beginning.
At the start,
slow.
I was a little bored because you can kind of logically progress how things are going to go at the very start.
I didn't expect the fire.
I did not expect the no clothes.
I didn't expect him running around in his tighty whities.
I did not expect Tyler's response to things.
Mm-hmm.
But this is all very gritty, feelings pushed. Tyler's responding because he just doesn't give a fuck anymore.
No.
He doesn't run from the fire that he starts.
No, he
walks away from it. He only runs when he's actually in dire danger.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, you don't get the sense he's going to fight back that hard.
No.
This is a kid who's been punishing himself ever since.
Yeah.
And people remind him constantly that his brother is gone.
Yep. And his brother wouldn't be happy with him, and his brother wouldn't wouldn't do it this way, and his brother, that's a lot, and it's constant, and yeah.
I get the sense that he was going to go to college or something, that his brother was probably
Probably. I don't know. I didn't get that, but that doesn't mean I might have missed that.
No, I don't think it was said. I think I just got the sense of it, is what I was saying. Because it's kind of like his life just stopped, and he just stopped trying anything.
Yeah.
I mean, he was perfectly content just to steal people's crab
pots, yeah, and which is a dick move.
I would think.
So he was pulling them, is what it was.
Yeah.
And it was his brother's area. His brother was the one who had the fishing or the crabbing license, and then these guys, when the brother died, they took over the area, and so he was still pulling the pots from the area, even though they weren't his and they were these other groups. But I think it was just a matter of he was doing it because it was his brother's area. And fishing and crabbing for a living, I guess, I don't know the ins and outs of it. I mean, we used to just go crabbing off the side of a bulkhead, so I have no idea about the legalities of how it is down in the Outer Banks. But I do know
Well,
that
that's for commercials, so I would imagine they'd be I'm
pretty
surprised they didn't kill them.
probably. I mean, well, they were gonna.
Yeah, but I'm surprised they didn't do it the first time.
That's true.
They had them dead to rights.
They did. So, do you think it passes the Castellini test?
Man, I am wondering.
I think it's gonna.
Let's find out. I had it right here. I'm moving things around. There have to be at least 2 named women characters with at least 5 lines of dialogue each. Good luck.
Eleanor and Rosemary.
God damn it. Fucking Rosemary.
I love her.
I really thought I had you on that one.
Nope.
Those characters must have a conversation, not necessarily with the other woman, either not about their partner or with their partner, future or current, and not about their relationship.
Eleanor, every step of the way throughout the movie, except for the one time when she talks about her husband, and even then it was very vague, and it's only because he was trying to guess if she was married or not. And that was it. They
Yeah.
don't really talk about relationships. Even when he kissed her, there was even, no matter what, they didn't actually talk about them.
No, I'm not talking about her. I'm saying no one else.
No one else. No, not that I could think of. It was all about.
Doesn't really need to be.
All about
There's
Zach.
only one. There's only 3 people in the movie.
Mostly.
Everyone else is support.
Yeah.
Okay. At least one of the women has to be integral to the plot, meaning that if she were written out of the film, it couldn't reach the same ending.
So,
Good luck.
Okay, well, here's the thing. I don't want to give away the ending, but if Eleanor wasn't there, he would be really, Zach would have been kind of fucked hard. I mean, it would have been bad for him. And there's a good chance that he would have ended up in some type
Wow,
of...
that's a really good way to say the ending. I mean, not the ending, but a way to work around it. You did a good job there.
I mean, he would have been put in an
No, I
institution.
mean, the way you've done it has left the listener with absolutely no fucking idea what's happening.
Exactly.
And I love that.
Exactly. I mean, I'm good at that. I am good at not explaining things
No,
well.
I'm saying I would not have been able to do that. I would have given it away trying to explain it.
But yeah, without her there, I have to say, while she isn't there for most of the movie, if she wasn't there at the end, things could have gone. He would have either gone back to they would have had somebody else going after him. He would have ended up either back at the nursing home or at that institute that she didn't want him to go into. Or he would have ended up in prison or in some type of an institute. Or he would have been homeless on the street and then nobody would have found him. In which then he would have probably died.
I'm going to posit this. Without her, Zach wouldn't have gotten out. He wouldn't have gotten out.
I mean, yeah, she did leave Bruce in charge. Not Bruce. What was it? Bruce Dern. I forget what his character's name. Carl. She did leave Carl in charge. Carl volunteered to watch him, and Carl's who helped him.
Not just that. Her influence on him, she was one of the few people that actually cared about him there.
That bright spark, yeah.
And he wanted to be more. When you see other people living their lives.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he flashed a smile at her. I'm not saying he's smitten with her, but he liked her as a person.
I mean, and she's the one who labeled him as a flight risk. And yet, yeah, not many people took it.
And that is what spurred him to do a middle of the night instead of something he was probably damn well going to get caught at.
Mm-hmm.
By running out the front doors in the middle of the day.
Well, that's because he made a deal with Carl about not playing those videos anymore if Carl helped him escape. And Carl's like, well, I'll help you. Because he had nothing to lose. And he did.
But he didn't have anything to lose. At that point, he had nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Without her.
Oh, yeah.
He would not have been stressed out enough that, thinking he was going to get moved.
Mm-hmm.
Or that he was going to be locked down even further. And he left.
Yeah.
And this was his big chance. He wants to go train. So, yeah, I think that she pushed that. But also I think that she's integral to the plot for another reason. Because Tyler is ultimately self-destructive.
Oh, yeah.
Even finding Zach didn't take that out.
No, no.
She is a guiding force, a logical force, like you said earlier, and they needed
They
that.
needed the caring.
They need a rudder for their boat.
Yeah.
She is their rudder.
Yeah, she's the caring faction. She is the heart. She is what... It's not just that saying that Tyler doesn't have a heart, but he is more of the...
Well, actually, I think he's all heart.
Yeah.
That's the problem. He's all heart.
It's like the hand-mind model. So he is the hindbrain. He is the fight or flight, for lack of a better term, but he's definitely reactive. And she is the front part of the brain where we're thinking, our thinky thoughts.
But Tyler's definitely the heart of it. Zach's the brains.
Zach's the brains. You're right.
He is.
He's the reason why they're going where they're going.
He has the focus and the determination.
Mm-hmm.
And he has the will to do what he wants to get done. This was before he met Tyler. He broke out of a place.
Yep.
To go. He ran in his underwear to go.
He did.
The man doesn't stop.
No. Can't
Even
stop,
when he's
stop.
scared. And Tyler is just the person that helps him realize that he can do it no matter what. That he can do these things.
I think the two scenes that I think we see him as being really super weak, because even with the boat thing, when they're going across the river, he's not weak, he's just scared. But the only two times I think we see Zach being weak is when he's afraid of the swimming, when the kid's trying to get him to jump off the thing, and when he when he throws up
in the boat.
Yeah, that's the only two times I think we see him, because even when he says I'm scared, that's brave.
Yeah.
Saying that you're scared of something to a total stranger is a fucking brave thing, because you don't know if they're going to use that against you or not. You don't know.
Yeah.
So, yeah. He is definitely the brains, and he is definitely the smarts.
So, surprisingly,
this
passes the Castellini test.
I think the Castellini test, though, while it is, it's supposed to be a tongue-in-cheek feminist test, I think a lot of times it does do more diversity. It does test for our diversity, because even,
I think so. I think unintentionally, or probably maybe Brie was intentional in this.
Mm-hmm.
It goes well beyond, feminism itself, which is just about equity, but I think it also starts making you think more about the actual substance of the movie.
Yeah, remember when we had the fourth optional question, which was about the people of color with their because of Tremors passing.
Right.
Amazingly, Tremors is the perfect movie, y'all. I mean,
it really is.
So if you ever
not doing this with sarcasm at all.
No, go back and watch our episode on Tremors, because honestly, it is a perfect movie.
Listen to it. Watching it's going to be a lot harder.
I know. I'm tired.
Put on the closed caption. You'll be fine.
Sure, yeah, you can read along.
You will not like that.
No,
we jump around too much to be reading.
But yeah, go back and listen to the Tremors episode, and trust me, it is the perfect movie.
It's just surprisingly my favorite movie now.
It is so well rounded.
I liked it before.
But I
have new appreciation for it now.
Yeah. So if you want to watch our movie, this movie, The Peanut Butter Falcon, not our movie, just a movie now that has joined my heart.
We will claim it.
I will claim it. It is now one of my favorites. You can watch it on HBO Max, YouTube, Hulu, Sling TV, Amazon Prime, Google Play, Fandango, and Apple TV. Either through a subscription, or you can rent it for $3.99 up to $4.99, depending on location.
True of this as well as in life.
Yes.
So this has been Once More with Feelings with Beth and Michelle. You can find us wherever you listen to podcasts. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Blue Sky at OMWFPod. Visit our page at oncemorewithfeelings.podbean.com, or send us an email at omwfpod@gmail.com. Try to do that really fast. It's a lot to read.
It really is.
Take a moment to subscribe and rate us on iTunes or
wherever
Apple or
Robot.
Boardhole.
Not the Boardhole.
Not the Boardhole. Look, just subscribe and rate us on the thing that you listen to us on.
Yes.
You know what you listen to us on.
Yep.
I feel silly reading this every time, and I'm the one that wrote it.
So next time, here are your 2 clues. This movie holds the date of April 8th as a very significant date, and it is also a very significant date in real life, and it is the reason why that date was chosen in the movie. Also, so much was cut from this movie that it lost close to 40 minutes of footage, and 3 significant characters were cut.
And now I know what this movie is.
Oh, you knew what the movie was anyway, and it's another one that I've never seen, but
Yeah,
you
but I
have.
forget them.
Yeah.
So-
See, you saw the movie, but I've never seen this one.
True. That's another hint. You gave him another hint.
There's a lot of movies I've not seen, y'all, so it's not a big thing. It's not a big thing.
It's in Metropolis.
Is that the one with the moon? The guy with the moon, with the he gets the rocket in the eye, or is that just the Smashing Pumpkins video I'm thinking of?
Oh my God.
Ooh,
Oh, we need to do a Patreon
we do need to do a Patreon.
to do these asides at the end because this is well over our time,
Oh,
which is
wow.
why I read that very quickly.
But speaking of that movie, and it made me think about the moon,
So we're
was
just gonna keep going.
yes, we need to do Baron von Munchausen, or Baron Munchausen. That's the name of the movie. Yeah, that's it.
Baron Munchausen.
I love that movie. It's so weird, but we should do that.
I actually loved it too. I saw it many times when it was on HBO.
Loved
I ran their reel
Oh,
out.
weird. And there's
I don't know how to
nothing
say-
that makes sense.
Ran their reel out.
Oh, wow.
As if HBO uses reels.
So until next time, friends. I don't know. I don't have anything catchy to say this time.
Something.
Spoon! No, I don't know.
Peanut Butter Falcon!
Peanut Butter Falcon! Peanut Butter Falcon!
Jack, I need you to listen to me. That bag and them pants are gonna hold air. They're gonna float you. Do not let go. You hold on with everything you got. I sure as shit don't want to have to go swimming over there thinking about you sinking us. And I don't want to dredge the bottom for your body. You understand?
Am I gonna die?
Yeah, you're gonna die. It's a matter of time. That ain't the question. Question is whether they're gonna have good stories to tell about you when you're gone. Now don't be a bitch. Let's go.